you can never make wealth watching business TV, watching these anchors telling you, "Aaj 2020, 10 ka dam ye wo," whatever, it doesn't work. Right? So the less you watch, and since I started Goldilocks, I've stopped watching business TV. Sometimes my clients tell me, "मालूम है ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है कि अच्छा है." So I'm telling you, this is one tip which will really go a long way, because सबका आदत है 1 घंटा glued रहने का, देखने के लिए कि कौन क्या बोल रहा है, किसने क्या कर रहा है. Do your research, read some interesting report. I think that will take you much long way, because it's the noise. They will create fear in your mind. जब मिडिल ईस्ट का अटैक हुआ, they created so much fear कि अब तो गया, over, the world is disrupted. But see how financial markets came back, right? So और आपको देखना भी है तो म्यूट में देखिए, which a lot of my clients don't know what they're talking, sadly enough. Look for relative strength, very important concept which I've shared with you all today. If you're invested in a stock, it better outperform the Nifty. It better outperform the NSE 500, otherwise don't commit into that stock. As simple as that. Like for me, my top picks of late have been DLF, LNT, because I just feel that they are structural stories and you can't disrupt some of these businesses. The kind of land bank, the kind of work DLF is doing in Gurgaon is just mind-boggling. And the 200 stock has become 850, and I think there is more to come. Segregate trading and investing capital. Again, very important takeaway, because you need to have structural capital and seasonal capital. Structural capital means अगर आपका 200 rupees का portfolio है, 100 rupees structural capital playing 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and rest seasonal, which is 3 months, 6 months. That's what you need to do. So if you do that, then your long-term winners you will not exit fast, and your short-term winners you will not hold for too long. This is the biggest problem for a lot of us, because we mix everything. अरे ये short-term है, अगर ये long-term है. But what Rakesh ji did, holding a Titan for 15 years, what Warren Buffett did, it's a great example what Warren Buffett did. We all knew. I keep saying that April Fool's Day should be in September, because that's when the iPhone launch happens. Right? And every year there is this mad craziness to buy the next iPhone, with small updates. It is probably the biggest scam the world has ever seen. Right? And look at what Warren Buffett has done. The man realized that in 2015-16, put all his money, I think a very large part of his money in Apple. One stock is making billions of dollars for him. So these are things we need. Instagram, when I see my kids on Insta, everybody on Insta all doing crazy stuff, I just realize कि ये तो अच्छा business है यार. Let youngsters be in it, but you can be a part of this business going forward. So that's what it is. Segregate trading and investing capital. Write the winners, cut short the losers. सबसे important point जो मैंने देखा है पिछले 20 सालों में, because winners भी exit fast and losers, अरे कभी ना कभी तो भाव आ जाएगा. अभी भी हिमाचल का वेट ही कर रहे हैं कि कब वो 2000 रुपया होगा. So please, anything that's not performing, it's almost like the cricket team. A player in the cricket team, as big as a Rohit Sharma, if he doesn't perform for 7 innings, you start asking for a replacement. When it can be done to the best cricketers, best sports person in the world, why not your stocks in the portfolio? Perform nahi kar raha hai, move. Right? So this is what I have. I mean, you can always reach me on this email ID, Gautam@Goldilocks Research. This is my number. I'm on Twitter, GShah26. This is my website. You can have a look at it. And always available for anything that you might have. And if you want any follow-up on whatever we've discussed today, we can always do a detailed interaction at any point of time. So with this, I'll end my presentation today. Thank you all so much for patiently hearing it. And I hope this was of value. Thank you.
Some stock ideas, because that is very typical subject.
Yeah, I know, but then you have to go really deep into it. I'm a technician, so I don't want to go deep into the fundamentals.
You are bullish on which stocks in AI?
So there are many technology companies that are very good. One company which I hear is Latent View. So Latent View is a mid-cap a company which does a lot of interesting stuff. Again, it requires a little bit of work, but Latent View looks interesting. Then a lot of mid-cap companies like Affle India is doing some very interesting work. Persistent Systems, Larsen & Toubro Technologies, all doing some very interesting business. This requires a lot of work. AI, in fact, me and my team are working on it right now, trying to find names which could be the next big winner. But I've given you some names to give you a heads up.
Okay, thank you.
Of the large caps, the Infosys and the others which are there in the market on that particular front. Whereas you just suggested the large cap IT and at the same time you're talking of mid cap IT being more of a possibility with AI. So where is this? How do you address this dichotomy?
That's very true. Actually, that's my concern. You caught me right at the right place. And but this can take 5 years to disrupt. This disruption will not happen overnight. I think this will take at least 3 to 5 years to disrupt. And these companies are so much into the into the US that it's not possible to disrupt them overnight. I mean, that's my only answer. Yes, there could be issues, and AI can come and take a lot of jobs of these IT companies, take a lot of the work that the IT companies do with companies around the world, but not immediately. That's the reason I keep saying that have a 1 year view about things and not a 5 year view. If you take a 5 year view about IT, it's not a buy. Take a 1.5 year view, it's a buy. That's the only answer.
The last line says, right, the winners cut short the losers. So if you have stocks which are doing great, financially, on their results are extremely well, but they're not doing well in stock market, still should you prune your holdings, or you should keep holding, to wait for a jockey to come and ride it?
So when the jockey will come, the chart will tell you. That's why people like us are there in the industry, because we time it. We help people time, you have to always go to an expert who can help you, or you can see the chart yourself. That's why I showed the chart of the relative strength. So, if the stock starts to do well is when you stay committed. So keep a watch on every quarterly results, and also keep a watch on the stock price. And if you're seeing that something interesting is happening, then you stay with it.
So what is your chart suggesting regarding HDFC Bank? And most of us are holding HDFC Bank. So for, look ahead for 2 to 3 years, what is the chart suggesting on HDFC?
See, I don't think there is much to lose. Also, there is not much to gain. Because, I think it is just going to frustrate in a sort of a range. Maybe 1350, 1400 on the downside, and about 1800, 1900 on the upside. So it will give you a 15%. It's going to be a market performer. But at these prices, should you go out there and sell? I would say no, because I think the selling climax has already happened. So hold on, give it about 6 to 12 months, and the Bank Nifty chart which I shared, I think is equally important. But given a choice, I would want to hold SBI over HDFC Bank, no doubt.
Should we cut some of our position?
I think so. I think so. That's a very clear message, because if you're going to be overweight HDFC Bank, you're not going to do better the market, that's for sure.
One more question. Are you tracking Paytm, and what do you recommend for the people who are holding or people who are looking at it as an opportunity right now at this price?
I could be wrong, but I don't see it as an opportunity. 6-8 months back, I had a choice of being into Zomato or Paytm. Somehow I study the founder. I watch his YouTube videos. I hear what he's trying to say in the commentary. And I found Dipender Goyal to be far, far ahead of, Mr. Vijay Shankar. It's just observation skills, and what Mr. Goyal has done in Shark Tank also. I think some really good sharp stuff. It tells you that the man is in control of his ship, and the business model is far stronger. Paytm mein somebody can come with that technology and disrupt it. Now, what is Reliance trying to do? It's come in, created regulatory hurdles. The stock is down, and it's trying to create an entry into Paytm. It could do well, but I don't want to go that way.
What's your view on the ethanol story, which was going very high before? The ethanol story?
Yeah, so see, the market discounts everything very fast. So there was a time when sugar stocks and ethanol, all of it did very, very well. Now all of it is in the price. और market क्या है, कोई भी चीज को 2 बार discount नहीं करती. You can't keep selling that story again and again every day. It looks great. Ethanol is a story for the next 5 years, no doubt about it. But can you buy stocks at these prices? Maybe the answer is no.
But all sugar stocks are trading at a very low P multiple.
They are, but they are very cyclical in nature.
Yeah.
Sure. Unlike many other markets. So if I have to buy a cyclical stock, I'd rather go with metals, which is also cyclical, but I think much better. And government is an election year. Yeah. So even more reason not to stay with sugar and be with more structural names.
Same is with the fertilizer industry.
Absolutely.
So what is your view about
See, I keep hearing great things about it. I have missed the bus, to be honest. Many of my clients recommended to me that it will do well. I don't understand OMCs so well. I think the EV theme is better. At these prices, I know they're very cheap, but to be buying IOC, BP, HP at these prices, I'm not too sure. I'd rather go with power. I think power grid is a much bigger structural story. In oil and gas, ONGC is a structural story. Coal India is a great story, but I wouldn't go the OMC story.
Private bank versus PSU bank, there is an index chart.
Yeah.
Now it's coming to a customer. So what would we take?
PSU bank, very clearly PSU bank over private bank.
PSU banks are not performing better than private banks anymore.
Why? But they are all still very cheap. No, that's fine, sir. Articles to sabhi likhte hain. No, that's fine. I mean, we can discuss this offline. But the takeaway is, see, please understand, all the private banks are over-researched, over-owned and over-understood. Whereas the PSU banks are not in that scheme of things. So, and SBI, I keep saying, but it's a no-brainer that the valuation is trading at. I would not go with the UCO and Bank of Maharashtra and all those small banks जहाँ पर अभी action इतनी हो रही है, वहाँ मत जाइए. If you stick to the top three names, BOB, Canara and SBI, I think you'll do much better for us.
Indian bank, those PSUs which have been merged and made a bigger
Yeah, I think so. See, I'm the kind of person who likes to stay with the industry leader or the challenger. I don't want to go to grade C and grade D क्योंकि वहाँ कभी पैसा बनता नहीं है, क्योंकि वहाँ entry exit होता नहीं है. It's very tough to have your entry exit. So those are seasonal stories. Indian Bank, you said, seasonal story. Make your money, get out. But SBI is a structural story. Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, structural stories.
You just spoke about HPCL and APCL, as I heard. Now, all these stocks have given life high breakouts, 10-year, 15-year breakouts.
Yeah.
What's your view on that?
Yeah, they should do well because that's exactly what happened to Indian Defence. 15 years of nothing, and then it's getting its due. Happened with Reliance also. Remember, happened with ITC. Everybody made fun at 200 rupees. ये तो चलता ही नहीं है, and then it became a doubler in a matter of a year. So if it's a solid company with great earnings and reasonable business visibility, and it's breaking out, no reason to exit that.
I know you are bullish on.
In stock markets, at least from my perspective, elaborate is just buy or sell. So for me, I think all of them are a buy.
Power sector is very big.
Absolutely. I think, I'm not a fundamental analyst, so I can't give you very need of the hour. And I think over the next 3 to 5 years, all of these stocks, including JSW Energy, when I'm personally invested, I think they should do very, very well. NTPC as well.
So what is your Tata Power?
Looks great. Again, it's overowned. That's the only problem, and it's not cheap. Please understand, now Tata Power is not as cheap than many of the PSU power stocks. I would rather go with other names.
Gautam, I wanted to ask, just now somebody questioned about a 10-year or a 15-year breakout. So do we actually assume that 10-year-old buyers are still sitting with their stock holding that much? Does a 10-15-year-old breakout hold relevance? Or what is the time frame should we consider?
It does. In fact, if I did a poll here today, there will be so many people waiting कि अरे ये भाव आएगा तो निकलेंगे. वो कितने पोर्टफोलियो 2 साल 5 साल 10 साल के लिए होल्ड ही करके रखे हैं, because we have been, as humans, we can't take a loss. There is this ego that comes in the way to actually exit stocks. So people continue to hold till the prices doesn't come. So when the breakout happens, it means all those weak hands who are waiting to exit have exited, and the new guys are then taking the market higher. Why it's such a big rally? They are super cheap. And the government means business. Modi ji ne abhi last week bhi kaha कि next मेरे third term में if I get, then I'm going to do some significant reforms.
PSUs के लिए तो बोलते हैं ना कि वही बायर है, वही सप्लायर है, वही पॉलिसी बनाने वाले हैं, तो PSU तो कमाल करेगा ही.
But that's a key risk.
But with the technical points that you said, RSI and moving averages, I think the whole PSU band is now broken out.
Yeah, but a lot of it is already in the price. A lot of the positives are in the price because everybody is talking PSU now. But they're still cheap. What is cheap is cheap.
What are your views on Yes Bank, Vodafone?
I don't go that route, sir. I mean, I just don't go. I don't think that you should be, spending a lot of time in these things because they could go either way. You know, they're like pinch hitters. Chal gaya to theek hai, nahi chala to I don't know. There's too much happening there. I don't want to go that route, to be honest. I mean, I've been a big bull on Bharti. I think some people here know that we run a 12 stock portfolio. In that Bharti, I had a choice 2 years back. Should I go Bharti? Should I go Reliance? I chose Bharti, and that's really rewarded me.
For a 10-year period.
Okay, so that's again a brilliant question, and I think this requires a very simple answer. So I keep telling my clients that, you know, whenever they ask how much return do you deliver, I said, I don't believe in delivery. I have some preparation. I believe in 4 times inflation. So if your inflation is 5-6%, if you're able to do 4 times of that, you're doing well for yourself. That's one way to look at it. And if I can do 2 times Nifty, then I'm doing very, very well for my, I would rather say 1.5 times Nifty returns. So anything in the range of 15 to 25% is a very fair assessment to have from a 10-year perspective on a bigger corpus.
How to do that? It's so difficult. It is a mouth-watering return that
It
you
is
are
not,
telling.
sir. These same, if you simply bought some of these indices as ETFs and you held them, you have been getting these funds. The problem is today we are talking at a 22,000 index.
Correct. So I'm talking from today how to do that.
This is the reason I feel that Nifty might not give you great returns over the next 2 to 5 years. Because a lot of it is in the price. You have to go broader markets. The real opportunity is small cap and mid cap. Because please remember, I didn't touch upon the topic, 7,000 crores is coming into mid caps and small caps by way of mutual funds every month. Never happened in the history of Indian markets. So quality जो stocks होते हैं ना mid cap और small cap, वो तो गिरेंगे ही नहीं आप. Because fund manager wait कर रहा है कि वो नीचे आए तो ले. So the allocation here should be 60-70% mid cap, small cap, 30-40% large cap. You will get that 15 to 20% CAGR. You study that.
Can you name some funds
No, I don't want to name
multi-cap?
I don't want to name funds, but I like to go with the bigger brands. I like to go with the Kotak. You know, it has a great ad. You know, I'm a big fan of Malaysia. I'm a big fan of Narayan. I personally invested for my daughter in SBI, small cap and SBI funds. I look at the man of the top. You know, it's very simple with investing. See the person. I see those 2 people running in the show. I'm pretty sure that. Are we good?
Chemical stocks?
Yes, ma'am. There have been an and the globe. And many chemical stocks in today's market they are 50 to 80. So I would say stay away from them.
But is it now a good opportunity to buy?
No, I don't think so. Couple of names which I like. One is Cross Calcutta Connection and Gujarat Flow, and one is RT Industries. But apart from that, everything is an opportunity. Yes.
So what is your take on the SIP segment that is so much?
Oh God, don't ask me that. I mean, everybody is making 100% in 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
This is an absolute bubble.
Which one?
The SME segment.
Okay.
A lot of people are speculating they are playing 7 up, 7 down. और आपने सुना है ना ये रेट ऑफ फूड थ्योरी कि जब तक आपके पास एक बड़ा फूड है उसको आप बेच सकते हो तब तक वो चलता है एज अ वील. So SME at these prices, please be very careful. I think there are much better opportunities in the normal segment and not this. Yeah.
जय बालाजी के बारे में क्या?
We will discuss that after.
So friends, can we have a standing ovation for Gautam? He came in from Dubai. Believe me, Gautam, thank you so much. I didn't even see one. मैंने बहुत जन को ये था कि शायद वो आ रहा है वो गोल्डीलॉक्स को बेच just because of members like him. And friends, one more person responsible for this event, Chairman Ashish Bubna. Can we have a big round of applause for him? He has been after my life. To have was in Dubai and we could not have a common date. So thank you so much, Gautam. As a passive investor, I really was looking forward for this session, and I think we had a great time together. All thanks to Gautam. He was very kind, and as we say that ICBI is all about trust, and all his presentations were on data, and I think it gives a big learning curve for all of us. So thank you once again. I'll request everybody for a group picture, and then we have high tea laid out over here, and Gautam is also here. Whatever questions we have with him, I'm sure he will be more than happy to help us out. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So can we have everyone for a group here, please? Thank you.
I'm sure tomorrow will be ICBI. We are the average of our 5 closest friends. That
You call it we talk, we
Sir, before time.
तीन का टाइम था तुम देखा 7 मिनट तो पहले पहुंचे
हाथ उठाओ तो हमने कोई आओ और तो साल का काम का लॉट डॉलर था
हमने बोला था जो आपका जो स्टाफ है वो कौन सा होटल में साहब वो साहब जो आपका जो ये है ना कर्नल साहब है ना आपके साथ कहाँ दिख रहा है
ICBI is a platform, it's an interesting opportunity to interact with all, put forth your concerns and get your results.
इसको ऑफ करें
Gautam is one of the few Indians who hold all 3 global certifications in the field of financial market analysis. He is a chartered market technician, certified financial technician, and member Society of Technical Analysis with business channels like CNBC TV 18, CNBC International, ET Now, Z Business, etc. He has been a keynote speaker at various events in the country and abroad. Last year, Mr. Gautam also won India's Wealth Creator Award at the Jagran Naya Bharat Business Conference.
This is very important that do not try to time the market in terms of how much stronger it can be or how much weaker it can be. Social media, artificial intelligence, information overflow has evolved markets. 2008 में जब फॉल हुई थी, क्रैश हुई थी, तो WhatsApp नहीं था. In today's market knew 3 weeks before COVID, and let me give you a very interesting statistic. The day Modi ji came and said that from today we are going to have a lockdown, that was the bottom of the market. So if you are somebody with common sense, which all of us are, and if you thought, अरे मोदी जी ने ये अनाउंसमेंट किया है, अब तो हमें बेचना है, अब तो अपने बाजार से दूर रहना है, you would have missed the best opportunity. I know the best of investors, they thought that the world is going to be in a mess. But if you actually go back to that period, the day the US started its attacks is when global markets bottomed out. So what is the takeaway? That when such situations arise, they will keep arising. So let this session today be a takeaway for you, that the market doesn't fool you next time when such an environment develops. And the most important point is 40 rupees. You might have sold it at 180 thinking, अरे तो अच्छा पैसा बन गया, 30% 3 हफ्ते में बन गया. That stock today is whatever 450 rupees. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the late Rakesh ji, I've had the pleasure of interacting with him multiple times. सबको मालूम था कि he bought Titan. It was a no-brainer. He made his maximum wealth in Titan. How many of us have the wealth बनता है when we combine good research along with temperament and patience. People जो बोलते हैं कि मेरा Warren Buffett style of analysis है, where I like to buy stocks for 15 years, but the world is changing every 3 years. You can't put an Excel sheet out for the next 3 years, 5 years. This is the key word in today's financial markets. कोई भी ऐसा स्टॉक है, कोई भी ऐसा इंडस्ट्री है जहाँ पर डिस्ट्रक्शन हो सकता है, you have to कि कोई चीज नेगेटिव में जाके ट्रेड कर सकती है. So this was a first for people like me also, because I've been in the markets for a long time. And you know what the sad part is? And the final one, SIP. I'm sure if I did a show of hands, a lot of people in this room are doing SIP in the financial markets. This is a complete game changer. So banks, according to me, if I have to play the next 1 to 3 years, is a very good opportunity, and you shouldn't miss it, because valuation wise, it is super cheap. Please don't look at absolute terms. हम लोग टीवी में देखते हैं बैंक निफ्टी whatever 40,000. That's not important. You have to study it based on the valuations. The IT sector. I'm sharing some charts because I see this as big opportunity. I know many of you are in the IT business and understand it a lot better than I do. But as a chartist, I feel that IT is a great opportunity for the next 1.5 years. Remember I showed you that red line chart where I said that if the red line is going down, you stay away. You want to stay with the red line going up. And this is the chart of IT index divided by the Nifty, which seems to be going up, and it's looking like it's going to go up substantially over the next 6 months. I could have spent a lot of time on this, but I would not because it's a little technical. But the opportunity is that the best is yet to come. So all the top line stocks, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL Tech, I think there are great opportunities for the next 1.5 years. Mid cap IT, I'm not very sure, because वहाँ पर अगर आप valuations देखेंगे तो 40p, 50p, 60p पे, very expensive. But the smaller, the larger stocks in the IT space, I think is a big opportunity. The second opportunity I see is pharmaceutical. I know again many people are in the pharma trade, understand it in and out. आप ICBI group में कुछ भी पूछ लीजिए, everybody has an answer. So I'm sure we all can help each other, people on the fundamental side and people on the technical side, people like me. I see it as a very big opportunity because look at the red line. It has taken out a range of the last 2 years, and I think this is going to go places. I could be wrong, but my analysis tells me that over the next, and we've been very bullish at Goldilocks, the firm which I run, but even from here, I think pharma over the next couple of years, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma, Cipla, Glenmark, all are very big opportunities, reasonably cheap and likely to do very, very well. So in very simple terms, because initially when I started off, I gave you a framework of things. Now slowly I've got into opportunities so that आपको भी लगेगा कि हाँ कुछ लेके जा रहे हैं. So it's IT and this is pharma. And the second big opportunity I see, this is going to interest a lot of people because I know many people are in that business. That is metals. Everybody has a view on metals. Everybody has a view on Tata Steel, SAIL, JSW Steel. I know many people do a lot of import-export work as well. But as a technician, I feel metals is going to really be the darling of the market over the next 2 years. So this could be a great opportunity. Again, there's just too much happening. This is a chart of the metals index. So it broke out of a range after almost 3 years, and now it's at lifetime highs. Look at the red line. It's preparing to come out of a 7-year range. And if that breakout happens, a Tata Steel at 140, look at the valuations, a SAIL at today's prices. We love SAIL and Nalco. I think it can double from here. at the cost of going wrong. So please don't go out there and get excited at the markets tomorrow morning. But we like it as an opportunity. I'm always available in the group. So metals, I think, is a great opportunity for the next 1.5 years. I'm open to discussions with people. You know, I'm sure many people are in the industry, and if you have the same view, कि on the ground अच्छा लग रहा है. I get the opportunity to speak to some very influential people in the markets who move money in the markets. So उनसे भी feelers यही आई है कि you know Indian metal stocks could really be the global leaders. I also happen to speak to the JSW people on a regular basis. They have very good things to say. So this is a money-making opportunity. It's an opportunity, and the PSU metal stocks are probably the much bigger opportunity for the times to come. So now for people who are into mutual funds. So everybody is asking me, चलो मैं direct equity तो ज़्यादा करता नहीं हूँ. Mutual funds में क्या करना चाहिए? So my answer is very simple. You have to go the multi-cap way. So what is multi-cap? Multi-cap is a combination of large caps, mid caps and small caps. It's almost having a team of players. You don't want to just bet on SBI. You don't want to just bet on Suzlon. You don't want to just bet on Poonawalla FinCorp. You want to have a nice basket of stocks. And I think that's the way forward. Now this is the PE chart of the NSE 500 index. NSE 500 is a very good index. So आप कहीं भी invest कर रहे हो ना, please compare your own performance, not with the Nifty, because Nifty is 50 stocks. Compare your performance of your portfolio. I know many of you have your accountant or some financial advisor. उसको पूछिए कि हमारा performance NSE 500 से कैसा है. That will give you a clear picture whether you are actually outperforming the market or not. Because NSE 500 में large caps भी है, mid caps भी है और small caps भी है. उसका P as of now is 24. So कोई भी जो बोलता है ना कि India is very expensive, there is no way we are expensive. Historically, we have always, you know, topped out when the P of the NSE 500 is anywhere between 30 to 35. And right now we are at a P of 24. So अगर आपको mutual funds में invest करना है, there are a lot of multi-cap funds in the market. That is the best. I see a lot of people going small cap right now. Small cap में लोग धड़ाधड़ invest कर रहे हैं after such a big move. That's very risky. It's extremely risky to be investing big in small cap at today's prices. Please do not do that. Go multi-cap way. I think you will get far greater returns. Because see, at the end of the day, it's not just returns. It's about protecting your wicket. Cricket में बोलते हैं ना कि अगर आप विकेट पे हैं, आपका विकेट ही निकल गया तो बैटिंग ही नहीं कर पाएंगे. So मार्केट्स में वही है. You need to protect your wicket and at the same time try to hit a 4 and a 6. Keep both sides of the coin in mind. So multi-cap is really the way forward from a market's perspective. So friends, to conclude, the market dynamics are ever changing. Look to capture the bigger trends over weeks and months. Extremely important. Look to capture the bigger trends over week to months. No compromise on quality. Let people make money in shady stocks. We should not. We are the kind of people who should buy good stocks, good businesses with a future. For example, I've been a big fan of Zomato. You know, I just feel that it's a structural story. At some point of time, it could even be a part of the Nifty. Because why is it that a business like Zomato, you know, घर की कहानी है. You know, I think everybody's got so. Do you think India can survive without Uber and Zomato? We just cannot survive. I mean, it's a structural story. And there are so many entry barriers. Can a third person just come and create another Zomato? But a Paytm can be disrupted because technology will come and disrupt it. But I do believe that businesses like Zomato cannot be disrupted. And as you know, they're making money now. They're making profits now. 3 रुपया convenience fee होती है, आजकल वो 5 रुपया कर देते हैं. Does it bother us? You know, our children will still order. They will not see convenience fee 5 रुपया है. But for the company, it's great money. It's great business. Just one idea I'm just throwing at you guys because I think this is a great opportunity. Even in my teaser video, I spoke about Starbucks as a concept. Because I just felt up Starbucks में जाते हुए, I was at the Bombay airport. He charged me $400 for a coffee, man. Yeah. I was like, and you know, airport rates of Starbucks are far greater than the city rates. And I just didn't know that this is probably the best business model. What kind of margins are these guys with just adding the name of Starbucks? So there are many such opportunities in the market. similar opportunities which we need to play as investors. Like for example, the AI theme, I think that could be the future of the next 3 to 5 years. So look at stocks, look at businesses which are into AI, you know. So Zomato I think is a great example. So any business that can be disrupted, आप खुद सोचिए बैठ के, इसमें disruption हो सकता है क्या? You know, all of you are very successful businessmen, you all know, I'm sure you understand your own risks, कि मेरे business में क्या disruption हो सकता है. वैसे ही सोचिए, believe me, wealth creation will become a very easy process if you answer that question for yourself. You know, I remember I was sitting with somebody in Bombay and he said, I don't want to invest in this company because Reliance कभी भी खड़ा हो जाएगा और बोलेगा कि मुझे इस industry में आना है. It will disrupt it, and Reliance is doing that. It's coming in everywhere and it's trying to disrupt the industry. You know, Geofinance, I'm a big bull on Geofinance. I must say, we've recommended it to clients, and I feel it can do very well over the next, 3 to 5 years. So, and noise is the biggest hindrance. Don't watch TV. Don't watch business TV. I request you, because all of these guys, I've done 500 interviews in the last 15 years. And I know, what these guys do. सबका एक ही काम है, रिटेल को मारना. Simple है.